Eleanor Bantry-White from UCC, and I'm the Gender Equality Coordinator for PAAR-Net. We are building gender responsiveness into PAAR-Net. Firstly, we're amplifying awareness of gender equalities across the life course. Secondly, PAAR-Net seeks to be inclusive of diverse voices by engaging minoritised communities, including LGBT+, who experience historical and present-day stigma and discrimination. Another key challenge is gender equality in research. This includes valuing participatory research, where often more women are situated. So PAAR-Net is increasing the visibility of participatory approaches within the wider research ecosystem.
So on the academic side, I'd say that participatory research is a very female-dominated field. So there's many more women involved in or interested in participatory approaches, and I think this is also because in science or in research, participation is often still not seen as real research, so to speak. So it's not seen as having a robust, repeatable methodology behind it, but it's more like talking to the people, which is definitely not the case at all. But I think it is a very highly female-dominated field in academia. And when we look at the co-creators, we see that the ways that the biographies, especially when we look at older co-creators, the biographies and the ways we're being socialized as either men or women, they really influence the ways that we are able to speak up, make our voices heard, feel competent in co-creation. And so I think we are developing a lot of methods to alleviate those differences between genders, but also between social classes, people with higher or lower levels of education, people living with experiences of poverty or homelessness. I think it's important, on the one hand, for the older co-creators that are involved in research, because as being socialized throughout their whole life courses as men or women, they have learned different ways of expressing themselves, of believing in their competences, and of speaking out for themselves. And I think the same really goes for academic researchers who are socialized with different interests and different methodologies and competencies. So what we see is that participatory research is academically a very female-dominated field, while in PAAR-Net we make the experience that on the side of the older co-creators, we attract more male voices than female older co-creators. So there are definitely gender imbalances, and gender plays a role.
Mężczyźni mają jednak większą siłę jednak ciągle przebicia i ich opinie są znacznie bardziej nośne.
Gender shapes how aging is experienced and perceived. Participatory approaches that are sensitive to gender and intersectionality can, from my perspective, uncover inequalities and ensure the diverse voices, especially of those with vulnerable positions and minorities, that they are involved and valued.
Definitely what we witness is that there is gender imbalance in our co-creator groups. Right now we have majority of older men, which is very unusual, as usually in participatory projects there is majority of female participants. Yes, definitely, I believe that there is plenty of research that indicates historically also the impacts of gender imbalances in research into the research findings. So one of the prominent examples is the under-detection of heart disease in women that was caused because of all tests were conducted with male participants. When it comes to co-creation, I believe that this is actually an approach that allows to somehow break those gender imbalances in a way that we create different relations in the group. So
gender is important in general. When we consider aging and later life, it's even more important because we age in a world where gender inequalities have long existed. To ensure equal opportunities across all genders, sexual identities, and sexual orientations, we must acknowledge the ways in which gender shapes aging. I think participatory approaches reflect people's everyday practices and their different habits. On the one hand, participatory methodology in research help reveal gender differences and potential inequalities. They help researchers to understand everyday life practices of aging in aging research of older adults. On the other hand, by involving participants as co-creators, these methods offer people the opportunity to become social agents and change makers in their own lives. In my experience, I have seen specifically older women based in Istanbul, Turkey, how they demonstrate strong engagement and desire for social change. Participatory approaches can make their lived citizenship experiences more visible. It's a very crucial variable, like age and life stage, that contributes to unequal conditions, are reflected by these unequal conditions, but the solution may also be entangled itself. For instance, inequalities related to age often intersect with gender. Therefore, intersectionality literature, intersectionality practices can also be quite crucial and meaningful to continue our research based on gender differences. People experience aging differently due to their unique life circumstances, and recognizing gender inequalities helps us as researchers better identify and address these disparities.